Okay, welcome back everyone to another episode of Yoda's Hut featuring Star Wars Destiny gameplay. I'm Bill, I go by Yoda Man on the boards, and once again I'm joined for commentary on this game by Derek. Hey Derek, how's it going today?
Doing okay?
All right, so this is the a game from the Gamers Armory Destiny tournament held right after Spirit of Rebellion release. This is my last round game. We had 14 players. We played 4 rounds of Swiss, so this is round 4 here. I'm on the right playing my Elite Darth Vader and Elite FN 2199 deck, and I'm playing Steven, who is on the left here. He is actually playing an Elite Phasma Elite Dooku deck. Stephen came all the way from Wilmington, North Carolina. For those of you not familiar with the area, that's about 2 hours from the store we were at. But I guess he had some family in the area, so he came up for the weekend to play in the tournament. So that was kind of cool. I always think that I usually drive about an hour to get out to the store, so somebody came further than me for this. But it was nice to get to meet him. He'd been posting on the boards and stuff, and he had a pretty limited card pool at this point, from what I remember him saying. He hadn't gotten a ton of Spirit of Rebellion stuff yet, so I think that's why he was using Phasma and Dooku. And it looks like he does have one of the newer battlefields. I can't tell which one that is, though. I don't know if you can make it out, Derek.
Uh,
I think that's the... What is that one?
it makes me think of Cloud City, but that
Yeah.
doesn't. I don't think so. That's an older one though.
Yeah, I thought
The
it...
one that makes you discard cards.
Oh, maybe that is what
Or
it is. Is that the command center, maybe?
that's what I was
Oh,
thinking.
okay, maybe
Yeah,
it
I
is
might be
that.
wrong, but
No, it's just it's a little hard to see with some of the glare, and you can't
yeah.
completely. Sure, I guess we will find out, and as we get going here. So
Yeah, it seems like a weird pairing with Dooku and Phasma, but granted it's two unique characters where you get 4 dice out there, so it's not terrible.
right, and doesn't
Yeah.
Phasma have discard sides too? So maybe he was trying
I
to play
I
it more like a mill deck
I
here,
think so. Um,
and
Yeah, I mean, if that's the objective and that's what he's going for, then yeah. It seems the standard with Phasma is always because she gives Guardian to the non-uniques is to pair her with those.
right, right. So I think you're right. I think that must be the command center there that he's going for the mill thing. He actually won the initiative, so he chose to use it. He just played a holocron on Dooku. And I
Yep.
split up my shields maybe because I was probably figuring it didn't look like he was really going to go after somebody anyway. I was expecting the mill approach here. And I'm going to play an F11D rifle and get to roll it in. And I rolled a blank.
That's the downside with Finn. If you roll blanks, you don't get the die back,
No, you sure
and
don't.
that's why I hate. I find myself not wanting to play like that one cost blaster that's really
Hmm.
good because it's got the 2 blank sides on it.
Right, right.
Um,
So Dooku's loaded up with the holocron. There's Emperor's Favor. So that lets him increase his hand size, right? I think that's what that
Yeah, it
is.
gives him a max hand size of 6 now.
Yeah, so he could get more rolls. And then I just rolled Vader and got Vader's special and the 2 melee side. So I can actually do that damage,
Yep.
which will be good. And I wonder if I'll learn my lesson about with Dooku and trying to figure out how to go after somebody. Sometimes I've gone after him first and I probably shouldn't. It's probably better to hit him second if you can.
I don't think there's a necessarily a right or wrong answer. I think it depends on the flow of the game. If I
Mm,
could, the first real serious attack I can make is going to do some significant damage,
right,
I will sometimes go for Dooku first.
right.
If I feel like I can get him partial, especially if my opponent's already played a couple cards, they may not want to discard if they can help it.
Yeah.
Um,
I went after
and
Phasma.
the problem is if Dooku gets loaded up and then
Right,
he becomes hard to kill, he's a huge problem.
right. So it looks like he's taking resources here. I dealt 2 to Phasma, so I've obviously decided to try to target her first. I would think I'd use
Yeah.
the Vader special now too, and then maybe re-roll other stuff. Yeah, so I'm gonna use the Vader special. Deal it. He has to take a damage after I do that, but I could shield it. So I got 5 quick on Phasma here.
Yeah.
I think he's discarding to re-roll.
Yeah, see, especially with his rolls being suboptimal there, and you
Yeah,
had 5 damage, I might have gone for Dooku there.
yeah. Well,
Because you probably get, he probably at best blocks 1. I doubt he would block 2 damage.
yeah, it's hard to
Es-
tell.
Especially if he's collecting resources, he might have something he wants to play.
Yeah,
Like, that he didn't roll with the holocron.
there's Imperial War Machine. I love that card. That was a good addition to my deck with the lack of resources to like pay for these things, but not really have to pay for them. So I did 2 more to Phasma.
Yeah.
I got 7 on her already. And he is focusing the holocron to a special, and I was not happy to see
Yep.
that.
Yeah, I bet you if you'd have gone for Dooku, especially now that you've done, 7 damage, I
Yeah.
bet you'd have got 5 or 6 of it through
All
on
right,
Dooku.
so I got a resource and the 2-for-1 on FN. So he's going to use the holocron. Let's see what he puts in. He's going to put in mobilize. It looks like.
Oh, that could have been worse.
Yeah, it could have been. So he's going to bounce the holocron back to his hand, obviously, hopefully,
Yeah.
and
I
get
think he took the
mobilized.
die.
Yeah, and he rolled it out and
Yeah.
got a shield. Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to pull that holocron
So I'm
back.
gonna do a resource, and he's gonna use a mobilize to do
Yeah.
my redo my die, and I'm actually claiming there, making him discard.
Yep.
It's probably not
Makes
what he's
sense.
expecting, but I figured he wasn't gonna bother with that last thing, or if he did, I didn't really care. And he is
Yeah,
gonna resolve the Dooku die.
he
And
needs to pick up that holocron because that's going to affect his hand size.
yeah, I think he's gonna eventually realize it here. Oh, I see him. So
Because otherwise he's going to draw too many.
yeah.
Well, he forgot to draw his 6th card anyway.
Huh. Oh, there he goes. I think he just drew the 6th card.
Yeah, he should have picked up that holocron, which means he now has too many cards in hand.
Yeah, he does. Oh well. I should have caught that. Maybe we're gonna catch it in a second about the holocron being there. I honestly don't remember this. That
Yeah, because he has 6 cards in hand, so he wouldn't have been able to draw all of those. He'd be short
Yeah.
1 and have the holocron in there.
Right.
Unless he, of course, replayed it last turn, which he could have done. Since
Yeah,
he
that's
had-
true. But then he should have the die on it. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna play tactical mastery. It looks like, and then what am I gonna do with my 2 actions here? Looks like I'm just gonna roll out Vader for the first one. Maybe I'm hope. Oh, and I'm gonna get enough to kill Phasma.
Yeah, that was my thought exactly.
So I'll
Since
do 3.
Phasma's 3 away, you
Yeah.
got 2 sides on the dice that could do it in one shot.
Yeah, so I just did. I just killed Phasma. So that's a Phasma down pretty quickly there in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And now I just got to start dealing with Dooku and him having the extra cards to prevent some
Yeah,
damage.
see, the card advantage is going to now give the shield advantage plus the immobilize.
Right.
It's going to be hard to get damage through. You're going to have to seriously beat on him for a while.
Yeah, so what's he rolling
And-
there?
Hope he doesn't get something nasty on Dooku. Right now he's all defensive stuff.
Right, he's got the discard on Dooku, a resource, and 1 melee. I guess I didn't have any weapons to try to cheat stuff in.
Yeah.
So I got a resource, the 2-for-1, and a 1 melee. Yeah, I
think
can't
with
really
that
tell
deck,
what's in my
you
hand.
can never be unhappy to get resources the way you need them
So
in
he's
that
gonna
deck.
play use the force on my 2-for-1.
Hmm.
Yeah, I might have learned at this point that I needed to take resources whenever I rolled them just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
But it looks like I'm getting ready to do something. I'm gonna play lightsaber blow. So I will try to do 2 to Dooku.
Because
block one.
FN has a melee damage.
Right. Yes, he does. I like FN. He's pretty good for his cost, I think. You know,
Oh yeah, he is.
so I think Steven's trying to decide if he wants to take 2 or discard 1. I think you're discarding 1 here.
He's got so many cards he should be discarding every single time.
Right. Yeah. And then he'll still take 1. So I got 1 in on Dooku. 9 more to go.
And this was what I meant about earlier. It's like, yeah, you might have taken some more damage from Phasma, but I think if you'd have gone as hard at Dooku as you did Phasma the first turn, you probably could have got him out of there this turn.
So he used Immobilize to change my other melee to a blank a little bit too late, and I took the resource. And I'm trying to see how many cards I have. I probably only have like 3 in my hand, maybe. So if he chooses to make me discard 2, I'm gonna get 1 chance to re-roll here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little surprised he didn't do that just to minimize my options, but
Yeah, he's got the resources too.
He's actually got Feel Your Anger, so maybe he's just going to play that and remove my dice, and I don't even have to worry about him. All right, he's going to do the discard first. I think I would have waited. So got rid of
you still had a resource. It's likely eliminates any potential tricks you got.
Right. So I actually claimed there I didn't discard my last card. I made him discard the top 2 again.
Yeah.
And he's playing, what is that, no disintegrations?
I think it
does something to discard cards. I'm trying to remember exactly what it does because I hadn't actually used it, but I feel like it, because it looked like I just discarded cards off the top of my deck. So I wonder if if you're showing some kind of damage or something like that, you get to discard cards off the top of your opponent's deck.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that card. I've never played it.
Yeah, I haven't either. It wouldn't really fit in with this deck. So I did take 2 resources here. And I think we just realized that he was missing the holocron, but we figured he could have replayed it, and I just told him to put it back out. I think I felt fairly in control in this game, so I'm going to play the Holdout Blaster, which has Ambush, so I can roll the die in and potentially resolve it, and then still take another action. So I got the 2 for 1. I'm going to resolve it against Dooku there.
Yep.
And we'll see what he gets. I guess he's going to have to discard 1 probably. I would think that Intimidate. Looks like he has Intimidate in his hand. That's probably not doing him any good. I mean, I have a shield, but...
Yeah, he's still got that Feel Your Anger over there, too.
Yeah. I don't think he wants to discard that. If I roll a bunch of blanks...
No, I'm saying that could be... That's probably the most useful card he's got right now.
He's got a Holdout Blaster, too, so I don't know what he just discarded there. All right, so I still have 1 more action, so I wonder if I will roll in Vader or if I'll roll in FN. Yeah, I'm pointing out that I have Ambush still. And I am going to roll in FN here. And I got things I need resources for, unfortunately.
You already use up both of those cards that let you resolve that?
I think I might have.
I know you used one of them. I don't think you've used the other one yet. I think that was the other game that we did or watched.
Yeah, it might have been. Right now I could do 1 melee damage. And there is a Holdout Blaster on Dooku, and he's got Ambush, so I'd assume he'll roll in here.
Yeah, now Dooku's loaded. He's got all his gear. Plus, he can still upgrade that holocron.
Right. And he didn't roll great there, I don't think. Got the discard, a shield, blank.
You got to focus on the holocron.
Right. And I just hit Vader special and another range. That range is going to help because I've got the +2 range on the Holdout Blaster. So he's immobilizing my Vader die. And I'm going to attempt to do 3 to Dooku, so he could only block 1 of that since it's modified.
Yep.
So I'll get 2 in there. Yeah, that modified side is going to come in handy against Dooku, as everything I've noticed from playing against Dooku in some tournaments and casual games.
Right, because it's not like resolving several separate dice that he can react to individually. It's pulling it back to increase the value of another die. So it's just 1 die technically that it's hitting, so he can only discard 1 card.
Right. So we'll see what Steven chooses to do here.
He needs to get some damage in.
Oh, he was going to play Dug In, then he realized I had the battlefield.
I still think he's going for a mill victory condition, and he hasn't been able to claim yet either.
No, I think I've claimed both times so far. I was able to
So
just.
he's likely behind in that as well, especially since he's drawing more cards per turn.
Hmm.
I don't think he's winning the mill game either.
So he focused Dooku to the 2 melee side so he can try to get some damage in here.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have to win by damage if he's gonna do it.
Yeah. He needs like Mind Probe or some other strong like upgrade
I,
in
th-
place of Holocron. And I re-rolled and got the Vader special again and a resource and a +1 range.
I think if I'm him, I have to go after Vader. He's got
Yeah,
FN has 2 weapons with redeploy on him, and he's got technically this is much less health on Vader also because of the damage he's done to himself.
yeah, and he's got another use the Force. I'm gonna take a resource. I'm probably planning to re-roll, and I want to make sure if I re-roll, I can actually use some resources here. So he's gonna do 2 to Vader. Vader's got 4 on him now.
Yep.
So to see if I can take out Dooku before he kills Vader, or he chops off his arm or something like in the movies.
Which movie? Who chopped whose arm off?
Dooku chopping off Vader's arm. Vader's going for Dooku's head, though, I think. There's another damage to Vader, and I got Vader special that time, so I could try to do 3 to Dooku. He can only prevent 1, even though Vader will take a damage.
That's really the key is you got to get those hits that do at least 3 damage when you
right.
go after somebody like Dooku, because just 1 damage at a time, you're going to lose that race most of the time.
And he's going to claim, so let's see if I can. I'm taking the resource again just to have it, and then trying to do 1 to Dooku, and he's going to discard just to get rid of it. But I guess I decided I wanted the resources. Yeah. Oh, he did take the damage, actually. So he didn't decide not to discard, I guess. So there's 7 damage on Dooku.
I didn't see what that card is. Is that his Feel Your Anger that he saved?
I think it might have been. Although I think he discarded 1 at one point, too.
Well, the only other thing, if I was him, I was saving would have to be something big for the Holocron.
Right.
Because he really needs it right now.
Yeah, Mind Probe would be ideal, or a Force Throw maybe. I think is that dug in? Yeah, I think he's playing dug in now, getting 3 shields.
Yeah, that was the other reason he had to claim.
Yeah, well, I mean, you kind of have to, yeah. I see a Vibrant Knife, which could make those shields irrelevant.
Yeah.
I'm going to play the Vibrant Knife actually on Vader. I'm a little surprised I did that.
Yeah, I would have put it on the other
guy.
guy.
It has Ambush. I guess I'm rolling it in because he hasn't activated yet. And I got 4 unblockable damage right now. So unless he has a way to stop this, I should be able to kill Dooku. What is he playing? Dark. I can't tell.
Dark precog, I think. It's irrelevant.
And so so I'm gonna get to do 4 unblockable, and that'll be game there. So I was able to take out Dooku thanks to that melee damage sides, and not being able to block it there. So my deck worked pretty well in that game. Granted, I know Steven had said he didn't have a huge card pool, so nothing like a lot of the rest of the people were playing. So he's a bit of disadvantage there. I think we actually traded some cards afterwards to try to. He was trading with some people and got some of the newer stuff, I think, to help flesh out his decks. So I ended up going 2-2 in the tournament. That wasn't bad. I was worried since I built that deck the night before. I just wanted to win a game. So 2-2 was okay. I thought my deck had some potential, but it definitely needed tweaks to get the resources and stuff. So what kind of thoughts do you have on this, or after seeing this first tournament?
I think is kind of the thought I've had in general is with that Vibro Knife, it's one of those game-changing cards where now shields all of a sudden are far less important to have on your characters, which makes them, things that have that sides of the dice are also less important because, like, in all the tournaments I've played, everybody's running vibro knives.
Yeah.
So it's now all of a sudden you've got one of your sides of your dice on multiple characters, and somebody like Dooku who relies on that now all of a sudden is far less effective.
Right.
So yeah, I was not a fan of the vibro knife once I saw what it did. I just think I don't like it when they change a complete mechanic of the game like that and make a card that it's that good. It's just like the holdout blaster in from the last set, where that card's right now is like, if you try and buy one, they cost more than some of the legendaries that are out there.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's and in fact I think it's still going up in value.
Yeah, yeah. The,
So
the thing about Vibro Knife is, I think I misplayed it in one of the earlier games. It's better than I even thought it was. That I thought that it only made things unblockable if it was showing a melee side, and then I guess you had pointed it out or whatever, that
yeah.
it's just if it's in the pool, and I think that was probably unnecessary. I think it'd be just as good if it was, while that vibro knife is showing a melee damage, all your melee damage is unblockable. It's kind of like the TIE pilot too. I think the same thing. It's like, it's just when his dies in the pool, you can't remove other range damage. I think they should have made that while his die was in the pool showing range damage, you couldn't remove other range damage. Like how that extra little condition, which still makes it really good, but it's not just automatically on just because the die's out there. It just,
Well,
yeah,
there's a number of things with this set that they've taken that approach with. You've got
right,
Snap, with his dice being out there. That's a huge annoyance. I've played against
right,
that a couple times now.
right,
And then you've got, like you said, the vibro knife. You've got the TIE pilot.
right,
Um, it forces people to use removal on stuff besides like the 3 damage or the 3 melee or
right,
whatever. You may use it on a crappy, the vibro knife is sitting on a shield, a 1 shield or something, that you could care less about, but you got to get the die off the table.
right, exactly, exactly. So, all right. Well, I want to thank you again for joining me for commentary. I want to thank Gamers Armory for sponsoring the tournament. 2 days after Spirit of Rebellion came out, so it was a lot of fun to get out there. It's a pretty good turnout with 14 people, and 4 rounds of Swiss. And I want to congratulate Cole, who I played in the second round. Actually went undefeated that day with his Elite Grievous and Dooku deck that he played, that was including Spirit of Rebellion cards. So congrats to him on winning the tournament and going through undefeated. We had a pretty close game in the second round, and he just kind of edged me out towards the end. And again, so just want to thank them for supporting the game, and thanks for everybody who's been watching Yoda's Hut. We're always open to comments and suggestions. And as always, Derek, thanks for joining me for commentary. I appreciate it.
Yep, anytime.